Hey guys, so today I wanted to make another video showing you tips for collecting militaria. I absolutely love putting these videos together. I like sharing information with you. You guys seem to really like these videos, so I'll keep making stuff like this in the future. But anyways guys, got some pretty good information to share with you today, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in and let's get started. Alright, so as you see I got a couple uniforms, got a rifle, some brass, boots, bandolier of ammo, dryer lint sheets, air freshener. And so the tips I want to share with you today are, one thing I do whenever I go shoot, which it's been a long time, I'm not into reloading myself. I've thought about getting into it over the years, but honestly, I just don't shoot enough. But something I've always done is I always pick up my brass. Always. Like this right here is some 30 carbine. And, after I get enough of a caliber, of brass, I'll actually sell it to someone who does reload. Again, if I shot more often, everything like some of you guys, I would have gotten into reloading a long time ago, but just don't have time for it, unfortunately. But I do sell it. It's a way of me getting, maybe recouping some money from the ammo, the money I spent on the ammo, or just recouping money that I can, put towards buying other stuff for my collection, or buying future ammo or firearms or whatever it may be. So if you don't already do it, I would highly recommend you picking up your brass. Even if, again, you don't reload, you could always sell it to someone that does, or use it for trade. You could trade for something else that you want in your collection. So keep that in mind. Something else I wanted to mention is you definitely want to stay in contact with people who have something that you're interested in, even if they don't want to sell it right now. One thing about me is, I'll circle back around. I might wait, a month or so, or a few months. You don't want to get on somebody's nerves or whatever, but stay in contact with them. Again, whatever it is, just remind them, hey, I know we talked, a couple months ago. Just want to let you know I am still interested. If you decide to sell this firearm or this helmet or whatever it may be, don't just give up, but at the same time, don't call somebody every other day or message them and wear them out and frustrate them and run them off. So just stay in contact, especially if it's something really cool, unique, maybe something you've been wanting a long time in your collection. You don't want to just give up on it. So stay in contact, and maybe it'll end up in your collection one day. So another thing I wanted to mention, so I've got a German K98 Mauser rifle right here. And the reason I have this rifle, I just grabbed one in particular. Nothing special about this rifle for this video, except, it's bolt action, obviously. So one thing that I've never done myself is I don't store, my firearms, my rifles, and so forth, cocked, like the bolt cocked, because, this is kind of, I guess, up for debate, but, myself and other collectors may feel like, the spring could weaken over time of staying in the cocked position. It could maybe cause other internal problems with the rifle, with the receiver, or the action. I myself, I do not leave, my rifles cocked, you know what I mean? I've got most of them are in a gun safe, but I just don't do that because I don't want to, weaken a spring or some type of part, to go bad or become an issue when I finally get out shooting. I don't want to have any problems that might have been caused from it staying cocked. And so, again, some people probably feel like it's safe and it's fine to do that. I guess it might be personal preference, but I just do not keep them cocked myself. So moving that out of the way, I've got two uniforms here. And the reason I had them in the video is I've actually shared this before, but I kind of wanted to circle back around to it. So whenever you get a new uniform, a clothing item, something like that, there's always the chance that it might have pests. It might have insects. It could have moth eggs or larvae, or however you pronounce it. I probably just butchered that, but so you don't want to bring that into your house, into your collection. You got to be very careful because you don't want to cause an infestation and destroy your awesome uniform collection or man cave or whatever. So what a lot of collectors will do is they'll actually put a uniform in like a freezer, like a deep freezer, maybe for a day or two, just to kill any eggs or so forth. This uniform right here, I was going to put in a freezer, and just kind of wanted to show you guys what to look for. Again, you want to be careful for the eggs, and just other evidence that you've got maybe a problem with your uniform. So most everybody knows what mothing looks like. Got a little bitty hole there. This one's not too bad, but the reason I wanted to show you this uniform is I actually saw some eggs, some moth eggs. One of them's right here. Check this out. This is what you want to look for. Look at that. That's a pretty good sized egg. And I was kind of looking in this uniform, and man, look, there's another one. So if you see something like this, if you see moth eggs looking like this, you definitely could have a potential problem. So please make sure you take care of your uniform and everything. You don't want to find eggs like that. Totally just joking. These are not moth eggs. Some of you might be laughing right now, but you can't really see moth eggs, I don't believe, because they're so small. But take care of your clothing items. So another thing, let me put these off to the side, because that's about $50 worth of eggs right there. I'm just kidding. The egg prices have come down. I got another uniform right here I want to share with you. This one I just got out of the deep freezer. And so no moth issues, no insect or pest or whatever. So I'm thankful, you know. What the heck is it? Oh, shoot. Got a Hot Pocket. That was weird. Like I said, it just came out of my deep freezer. But overall, it's pest-free. We got some Brussels sprouts. What in the world? Got a frozen pizza as well. So, again, it was in my deep freezer. I don't know how that got in there. But so this uniform is safe. It's been in my deep freezer for a day or two. It can go into my collection room and shouldn't cause any harm to existing uniforms or clothing. Another thing, kind of along the lines of like pests or insects or smells. Let me move this out of the way. Sorry about that. Is you could air them out. You could air out your uniforms. Maybe hang them out in the garage, or if it's a nice sunny day, you know, hang them out on a clothesline for several hours and get a lot of that smell and funk and stuff out of your clothing items. I actually have dryer lint sheets here that I like to use as well. These are lavender scent. And then you see I got some Febreze lavender, because moths do not like the smell of lavender. Look it up online. It can repel them. They don't like the smell at all. So get you some dryer lint sheets, lavender scented. You might could even tuck them on the inside. Just put one inside your each jacket or shirt or pair of pants, you know. And from time to time, I'll spray my man cave with this lavender air freshener. Now, I don't spray it directly on items. I just kind of spray it around the carpet, just kind of up in the air. But I do that periodically because I don't want any issues, right? So that's just another tip there. Just kind of looking at my notes. So something else you'd want to do is I stay in contact with like mom and pop jewelry stores, because I've come across like kind of like a hole in the wall type jewelry store, not like a K Jewelers or Robert Irwin or something like that. But and I've actually come across like military medals or jump wings or just other things that have been brought in for trade or to be scrapped or sold or whatever. And so check out mom and pop jewelry stores. You never know what you might find. Sometimes you can find some pretty good stuff. Moving on here, you see I've got this bandolier here of ammo. It's actually World War I era U.S. ammo. And you see it's corroded really bad. And the reason I have it in this video, because a tip that I would give you, some people might disagree and that's okay, is I would not shoot corroded ammo. So if you see this right here, obviously that's corrosion and just nastiness. I wouldn't shoot it. Now some guys would get some real fine steel wool and kind of sand it down, I guess, and use some oil, or just have other ways, maybe a tumbler or something, of cleaning the corrosion off. But I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't risk, something, blowing up in your face, or, a bad primer or a case rupture or something like that. Some guys would pull the bullets if they're not bad and, reuse them for reloading and everything. But, just look at this right here. I myself would not shoot something like that at all. And another thing, this is World War I ammo. So another tip I would give you is, me, myself, I do not shoot war-dated ammo. I just don't. I collect it. I've got so much of it. But I just collect it, because it's 1918 ammo or it's 1942 ammo. I just think it's cool and I collect it and everything. So I don't shoot war data ammo, and I don't shoot ammo that looks like that at all. So be very careful when you make decisions when you're shooting firearms. Always practice safety. Go with your gut. Just protect yourself. Definitely protect yourself. So just a few other things. So you see I got these boots right here, double buckle combat boots. And the reason I have them in this video is you see they got dirt and mud on them under the bottom. They're not absolutely terrible, you know, as far as muddy and dirty and stuff, but you see they're well worn, and I can only imagine where these were worn, right? What other countries and so forth. But you see the dirt and the mud, I would leave that on there because that's part of the story of the item, the history of the item. And of course, I'll never know exactly where that mud or dirt or where, you know, stuff came from. But I just don't like to do a bunch of cleaning of old items. I mean, unless something's really just dusty, it's been sitting somewhere and it's just dusty. But if it's got, you know, some dirt on it or mud, or like a rifle, it's got dings in the stock, I leave it like it is because it's part of the history and story of the item. Will I ever know what caused that? No. Do I know what country or where the mud came from? No. But I just wouldn't go around. A lot of people like to restore stuff all the time and repurpose and refinish, and sometimes it might be a good thing, but sometimes it's not, and just the item needs to be left alone. So something like that, I'm always going to have the boots dirty because it's part of it. And you see, these are actually named to a guy, last name was Woodward. Haven't been able to find anything on him, but I mean, I just think it's part of the history of the item, so I'm going to leave it alone. Just something else I wanted to share with you guys. So, you know, a lot of us have stuff that hangs up in our man cave or our bedroom or our house. It might be on a nail or a screw or something like that. So from time to time, I'll check like a picture. I'll check, you know, whatever it's hanging on, like I said, nail or screw, or even maybe the wire, the picture hanging wire behind the picture, just to make sure that it's not starting to sag. I actually have had, you know, not a lot, but one or two things over the years fall off the wall. Fortunately, it didn't break or nothing like that, but you just wouldn't want to be waking up in the middle of the night to glass shattering or something happening, you know, in your man cave or your room, especially if it's a really nice item that's hanging up and it gets damaged. So think about that. Make sure it's maybe has the drywall anchors or it's in a stud or something like that, and just check it to make sure it's not starting to sag and about to fall, because you wouldn't want to have, you know, an accident in your house. So just think about that. It's something I do periodically. I just check the you know, for safety and stuff like that purposes. But other than that, I think that's about it. Just kind of looking at my notes, but just kind of some random ideas I put together. I was trying to be kind of funny with the eggs and the frozen food and stuff, but I hope you like this information. I appreciate you guys so very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Any other tips or advice or anything you can add on, or if you want to, you know, maybe give your point of view on some of the tips or information that I gave, your twist on it, or what you like to do in practice. Let me know. Thank you again for everything. God bless all of you, and I'll be getting back to you soon. Thank you.